As of only a couple of hours ago, it was revealed that Nijisanji gave Zaion Lanza, now rebranded as Sayu, 3 hours to quote-unquote mutually leave. And before I speculate or give any further details, let me just show you the entire clip in full, and I'll discuss later.
I mean, I told the story before, but it was supposed to be a mutual leaving, but then they told me, oh yeah, if you want to leave mutually, you have to sign this contract, this other contract, saying that you won't say anything. It was really weird. I still have the contract, by the way. If like any legal people want to see that one too. I sent that to my lawyer before as well, and it was just like, yeah, pretty much this is just a silencing contract on top of like your NDA, so it's like I don't really see the point. And I was like, yeah, I don't see the point either, because I remember telling my lawyer, I was just like, I was like, hey, here, look, they sent me a second contract to send to me. Or no, they sent me a second contract and gave me a time limit of less than a day to sign it. And if I didn't, then they would say, oh, you're terminated and we're not saying it's on mutual terms. That's what they said. And I have screenshots of that too. I keep receipts of everything just because I don't like telling stories, quote unquote. I don't like the whole he said, she said shit. Yeah, it was really iffy. I think was that one of the things I left out of the fucking document? Oopsie. But yeah, time for another live. Yeah. So here's what actually happened. It was like, oh yeah, if you want us to say like we're leaving on mutual terms, you have to sign this other contract by like this time. Like it was in like 5 hours or something, and I was like, no, it was 3 hours. It was like 3 hours. Whatever. It's the screenshot. The screenshot has it. And then it was like, I read the contract and I was like, well, it's really short. But then I sent it to my lawyer and I was like, oh, they want me to sign this. And there's no point in you signing this. I don't think it's worth it for you to sign it. And then I was like, okay, well, no, sorry. It was me sending it to my friends, asking them if I should sign it, what they thought. And I sent it to my lawyer. But because what happened was there was no time. There was no time to send it to my lawyer and get them to answer before the time was up. So I was asking friends. And then I was like, can I at least have time to ask my lawyer? And they were like, nah, the time limit is here. And I was like, okay, well, shit. And then so I eventually went to the lawyer, and I eventually got to tell him after the time limit, after I asked them for an extension. I was like, please, can I have an extension to look at it a little bit longer? And then they were like, no. And then when I asked for the 3-hour extension and the time had reached the time, I was like, well, fuck, I'm doomed anyway. They're going to release the announcement. And it's just going to say like, we didn't mutually leave. And then they said, then when I reached the limit, the time, they said, okay, you asked for a 3-hour extension, fine, here you go. And I'm like, you're giving it to me now after we reach the time limit and I haven't signed it? Is this how desperate you are to get me to sign it? And that's when I finally gave it to my lawyer, and then I just declined it. Sorry, that was the order. Oh man, sorry, I've been here for 11 hours, give me a break. Anyways, yeah, so that's what happened. And then I was like, okay, I'm not gonna sign it, because even on their side, on the agency side, they were like, oh, I was like, well, what do I get from signing it? And they were like, oh, we think it would be better for your future. They actually, and the screenshot says that too, we think it would be better for your future if the termination said mutually left. And I'm like, well, yes, it would be, wouldn't it? Fuck you. And that's actually what they said. That was what their offer was. They were like, we think it would be better for your future if you said, if it said mutually leaving. I'm like, yes, it would be. Well, fuck you. Yeah, so I just said fuck it and I didn't care. Because I mean, like, that's not worth signing some stupid silencing contract. But I guess maybe it was, because everyone gave me shit for outing them anyway. So what the fuck, man? Maybe I should have just shut the fuck up. I don't know. But yeah, no, so I turned down the mutually left exclusive thing for this, and then it still got shit for it. So fuck it. Oh man. So yeah, my luck in life, point being, pretty fucking bad.
I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that that's an absolute bullshit contract. But before I get into the details of my opinion, let's check and see what the comments have to say. Niji Management, sign this contract in 3 hours or else. Also Niji Management, hi Solen, sorry for the 36-hour late reply. That's pretty much how it goes. That's such a scummy tactic, I wouldn't be surprised if someone in Nijisanji's management moonlights as a Yakuza mobster. Also borderline signing under duress. I mean, I would absolutely consider such a strict time limit, barely enough time to even read the fucking contract, absolutely signing under duress. And for anyone who does not know what that means, if you can prove that you were coerced into signing a document under threat, it actually nullifies the contract. It's insanely hard to prove, but if you can, it nullifies the whole fucking thing. Now, I don't know specifically what was in that contract, I only have Sayu's word to go on, but she insists that she has a receipt of the document, and personally, I would love to see it. Because every single time Nijisanji says shit, even when it's shit that they say to make themselves look as good as possible, it somehow still ends up backfiring and making them look even worse. Imagine how bad they look in this legal document that was only ever meant to go to Sayu, and judging by the 3-hour time limit, not even meant to go to her fucking lawyer. I mean, 3 hours is not enough time to get in touch with a lawyer. They were absolutely giving her that time limit so that she couldn't get in touch with her lawyer to review it and scan it for bullshit. And the fact that they were so desperate to get her to sign that document, I feel like is absolute proof that there is shit going on at Nijisanji that desperately needed to be exposed. Because if you remember, the original document that Sayu released was 35 pages, but she had to edit it down to 22 pages after it was reviewed by her lawyer, which means we're still missing like 13 pages of context as to all of the fuck shit going on in Nijisanji. There's still fuck shit we don't even understand or have context for. But ultimately, that's all I wanted to say, and I leave the question open to you. What are your thoughts on this? Bye, guys!